Good morning, you guys. Or, well, I'm sorry, it's good evening. I normally come on in the mornings, but today I am coming on in the evening time because it is time to, sorry, I gotta go. Oh, what happened there? There we go. Hey guys, how are y'all? All right, we are about to do a watercolor tutorial because I did not come on this morning because I had my grandkids. So we agreed that 7 o'clock was a good time for us to come on for this evening. When we talked yesterday, you guys were like, 7 o'clock is good. So, hey Martha, how are you? Welcome in. So we're going to do a fun watercolor tutorial tonight. This was yesterday's tutorial. If you guys missed it, it is up on my Tube of You channel. If you guys missed getting this tutorial yesterday. So, but we are going, oh, actually, this is not it. Which one? This one is the one we did yesterday. Sorry. Okay, this was yesterday's, and this was the day before. So we are going to do a fun raccoon today. I'm all into animals these days. Hey, Darlene, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Let me turn my AC unit off so that noise is not blowing in our ears the entire time. Plus, it blows straight on my head, and it's going to give me a headache if I let it blow on me the whole time. All right, so these were, let me pull them out of the sleeve so y'all don't have a glare. But these were the ACEOs for the last 2 days that we've done tutorials. So if you guys are ready to, hey Joy, how are you? Hey Kinder, how are you? So if you guys are ready to do some watercolors, go ahead, grab your stuff. Good, my hubby said, be sure to get on and watch your coach at 7. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, Martha. Thank you. You guys hang on 1 second and let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Martha, thank you. You guys hang on 1 second and let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I had to do that because I get a ton of texts and stuff. So yes, aren't they cute? Oh, you have raccoons. Okay, well, you're going to love today's tutorial. This is our little guy. Now, I'm not going to do the balloons, but we are going to do this little guy today. All right, so this is going to be our tutorial for today. So if you guys, he's going to have a little gift in his hand, but I thought I would just surround him by hearts like we did the giraffe yesterday. I'm probably not going to do the balloons, but this is the tutorial that we're going to do today. It's going to be the raccoons. Adriana, thank you so much for the follow. I'm going to follow you back right now. So if you guys are ready to learn how to do that, then let's get started. We're going to go through all of the things. Yes, the balloons are cute too. I just don't know. I tend to make my animals too big and don't ever have room for that. I might try to see if I can figure out how to make him small enough, but it seems like on this ACEO size, I have trouble getting space for that. So that's why I say I probably am not going to be doing the balloons, but who knows? We'll see how he ends up once we're done, because this little guy ended up too big. He had some balloons that were coming up right here, and I just couldn't fit them in on this size. So we'll see. Okay, so we are going to do the ACEO size tonight. Hey, Stacy Lee, how are you? ACEO stands for Artist Card Editions and Originals. So it's basically artist trading cards. So a lot of people who can't afford like big art pieces like ACEOs because they can get them. Like I list mine on the EBAY channel or app and sell them, and they are much, much less expensive than like an original art piece that's a large size of mine. So when you create these ACEOs, they're a inexpensive way to collect art. So hopefully, and they're very, very popular. People love this size. So, so that's kind of the reason that I love this. So I love the fact that they're small enough that people can afford them, and they're fun to create. I love creating little small art with all the details. So Stacy Lee, these two are up on my Tube of You channel already. So if you guys are looking to do the replays on either one of these, they are on my Tube of You channel. They're already uploaded and ready for you guys to watch. Okay? So so no worries there. You can get the replays. I know, I'm so sorry. I hate that your back is giving you such a fit. Okay, all right, so here's what we're going to do. Let me go ahead and go through what we're going to be using today so that you guys know what you need to have, okay? So the supplies we're going to have, you're going to need some tape. I have pinned the tape below that I will be using. It is the Meeden art tape, and I like to put mine onto a little piece of wood, and I do that because thank you, Kristen, for the heart me, because I like to be able to turn my drawing however I need to. So I go ahead and tape mine down onto a piece of wood that I can turn. If I tape it to my desk, then I have to like reach around when I'm trying to get to one side and all that, and it's a pain. So I don't like doing that. So we are going to use the Meeden tape to tape this down. And the great thing about this tape is you can kind of see through it. Now, I'm going to tell you this. One of the things that I've noticed about this tape is that it tends to leak like up underneath it. So I've only used it a couple of times. So if it continues to do that, I will probably switch back to the regular blue painter's tape. The reason I like this tape, though, is because I can see through it and I can see that my edges are even and that my spacing for my borders are even. So I really like it, but if it continues to leak, it's not going to do me any good. So we'll see today how it does. But if it leaks today, that'll be the third time that I've used it and it's leaked. I'm making a conscious effort to make sure that I have the edges down really, really good, so that it doesn't leak. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to tell you guys that I'm not going to recommend this tape, which makes me sad because I love Meeden and I love all of their products, but I am not going to recommend something I don't like. So, just so you guys know. All right. So I've got it taped down around the edges. You can see they're very even. And I have made sure to press it down really good so that I don't have any issues with leaking. And we'll see how that goes. All right. Hi, Debbie. How are ya? Stacy, thank you for the heart me. Okay. So that is the tape that we have used to pin down onto our surface. The other things that we are going to be using is going to be, we're going to use the Meeden paints. So let me go ahead and show you the paint palette that we're going to be using, which is right here. This is the 96 color palette. All right. So here it has 30 metallics. It has 12 macaroons. It has 6 neons. And then you have your 48 regular colors. Now, what I love about this is that they go from lightest to darkest, so you can learn to shade really easy with this palette, and you get everything that you need to start painting with watercolors other than the paper. So you have a brush and you have a pencil that comes with it. You have an eraser. You get 2 art sponges. These pop out in groups of 6, or they pop out individually as well. And you have this little mixing palette right here that fits on to the palette. So it can lay out and you can use it, or you can close it up and travel with it. So excellent, excellent. I love this palette. Yes, Kristen, it is the perfect set. I absolutely love it. So that is the paints that I will be using. Connie, thank you so much for the follow. I am going to follow you back right now. So I love, love, love this palette for that reason. I've used this medium palette for, well, not the 96 color palette. I have the 48 color palette for almost a year and a half, and I loved it. I used it every single day over and over and over. Still didn't run out of paint. Thank you, Broken Arrow, for the gifts. Welcome in. Good to see you again. And then I shifted just about 2 months ago. I added the 96 color palette. I upgraded and I love it. Stacy Lee, thank you so much for that 2026 gift. I appreciate that. Okay. So we are going to use that palette tonight. All right. The other thing that we are going to be using, the other products that we're going to be using is, first of all, we're going to be using this Mead & Paper. Okay, now what I have done is I have cut it up into an ACEO size. All right, this is a 5x7 paper. It is 100% cotton, cold press, 300 GSM, and it is a 5x7 size. The great thing about this is you can get 4 ACEO sizes out of one of these 5x7 sheets. So this comes with 20 sheets, which means you can get 80 of these ACEO sizes out of it. Yes, I know. They are wonderful, Stacy Lee. Thank you for chiming in and letting everybody know how amazing they are. Yes, I know. You guys all have this palette. That's what I love about it. We're all painting with the same palette, which makes it a lot easier when I'm teaching too. So I appreciate you guys investing in yourselves as artists, because you guys deserve it. All right, so that is the paper that we're going to be using. So we'll be using this Mead & Paper, and if you look at it, you can see, look how beautiful that texture is on this paper. I mean, I love this paper. It absorbs really quickly. So your working time is not as great on this paper as it is on other papers, but it blends so well that it's worth it. And it only takes using it 1 or 2 times before you understand. You just need to use more water when you're painting for the absorption to offset that absorption rate. But I love, love, love this paper. It is my favorite paper out of all of the paper that I have. And I have a lot of really good paper. So just so you know, love this. All right. Love this paper. Okay. So we're going to be using it. And then the next thing that we're going to use is we will be using the Mead & brushes. Well, at least some of the Mead & brushes. I have the 4 brush set, which is the 1, 3, 5, and 7. And as you can see, this has an amazing tip on them. They all have amazing tips on them. So you can even do detail work with even like these bigger brushes, because look at the tip on this sucker. It is like tippy. It is got a great tip. So you can do like little bitty detail work even with these bigger brushes. It's got this ergonomically correct handle, so it reduces hand fatigue, along with the fact that it's short, so you can control your strokes really easily. The ferrule, this metal right here, will not rust, so you won't end up with rust in your paint, and it stays super, super tight. It doesn't jiggle at all, and they hold a ton of water because they're synthetic squirrel hair. So if you're looking for a really good professional brush set, but you don't want to pay $30 or $40 a brush, this is the set for you. It is a great set, and honestly, this leveled up my art so much when I got this set. I initially was using the brush that came with this, which was a great brush, and I used it for probably 6 months before I got these brushes. But as soon as I got these brushes, my art went from like here to here. Like, it was amazing how different my painting was when I got a good set of brushes. Okay, so just so you know, brushes matter. Let's see. That's so great, Stacy Lee. I'm sure they loved them. I'm excited that you were able to do that for them. That's great. Okay, so these are great. These are great. And then the other thing that we're going to be using is the Golden Maple detail brushes. All right, so these detail brushes are amazing. Let me grab, there's 3 detail brushes in this pack. Hang on, I've got to find them though. 1 second, because I stuck them in we were using them earlier. Okay, so we're going to be using, right here, we're going to be using this 00 out of this pack. This pack has a 0, it has a 00, and it has a 01. So I'm sorry, it just has a 1. But we're going to be using the 00 for any of our detail work, okay? So I love, love, love this brush set. It's one of my favorites. I actually have the large golden maple set, which is this set, and I love it so much. But these are out of stock, and they've been out of stock for a while, so I don't even know if they're going to get them back in stock. But they're amazing. I love them. I love you know, they're very stable in the ferrule, and they have very good tips, so they're easy to do detail work with. All right, so that is all of the products that we're going to be using today, other than the last thing that we're going to use is some colored pencils for our shading. So if you look at our tutorial from yesterday, he was amazing without the shading, but once we went in and we added the colored pencils for all of the shading work, it just made him pop. So we will be using the So Color pencils for our shading work, which are where are you? Right here. Okay, so these are going to be what we will be using for all of our shading and detail work. All right. So, guys, if you haven't mixed colored pencils with watercolor, you have not lived, okay? I'm telling you, it is amazing. So, these colored pencils are great, and they are absolutely perfect for adding detail work and adding that pop that's going to make everything kind of come together and not look so flat. All right? So, that is what we'll be using for that. Okay, so if everybody is ready to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift your view. All right, we're going to shift you up to an overhead view because I want you guys to be able to see everything. Now, when I do this, if you lose my audio, please tell me, because my speaker, this thing kind of blocks sometimes my speaker. So I'm going to need you guys to let me know if for some reason I have it pushed in too far and you're not able to hear me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring you closer because I want you guys to be able to see what we're doing. Okay. You guys give me some feedback in the comments and let me know if you can hear me and if that view looks good for you guys from a standpoint. I'm right-handed, so I always put this on the left so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. Does everybody feel pretty confident in that and being able to see? Okay. The last thing, you guys, I forgot all about this, and you guys, you don't want to miss out on this. This is my very favorite Christmas gift I got this year. This is the Nick Pro sketching pencil set. Okay, guys, and this has your 7, 5, 9, and 2.0 pencils. It's a mechanical set. And it has all of the leads and all of the different hardnesses. So like if you need an HB, or if you need a 2B, or if you need a 4B, it has all the leads. It also has colored lead, and it has all of your erasers. You also get 2 of these erasers, and you get a kneaded eraser, which is great. And you get some pencil sharpeners for your 2.0. It all comes in this little travel kit, and you just clip it down and you can just travel with it. This is a great set. I use it I've used it multiple times a day since I got it at Christmas time. I'm going to be using the 5.0 today, and I'm going to be using it with an HB lead. Now, if I want to switch my lead out, I can also switch the top of my pencil so that it tells me what kind of lead is in it, so I don't have to remember, which is great. But I'm going to be using the Thank you for that gift. I'm going to be using the HB lead with a 0.5 tip. Okay, so that is the pencil lead that I'm going to be using Yes, Pharaoh Mom, I got your message right after I hit go live, so I couldn't answer you. But yes, I didn't go live this morning because I had my grandkids this morning. So I ended up with, I ended up having to wait. So we had decided that 7 o'clock would be nice tonight. Thank you for the gift so much. I appreciate that. I can't see you guys on my screen because my screen is above me up here. So I'm using my computer, and I'm using my the TikTok Live Manager. However, just so you know, it doesn't always tell me who sends gifts if you send them. So I just want to say ahead of time, if I don't call your name out, but I hear it ding for a gift, I'm going to say thank you, thank you, thank you. But I may not call your name out because I'm not going to, I may not see it. Okay. Martha, thank you so much for your purchase. Congratulations. You are going to love those pencils so much. Okay. Yes, Stacy Lee, if anybody has questions, pin them for me, and then I can see them on my TikTok manager. Okay, so if you guys have questions, you need me to slow down, you need me to stop, I'll be watching the comments come through as much as I can, but if I'm looking at the paper, I don't always see them. All right, so here is what we are going to do. I forgot to show y'all the inspiration picture again so you guys can get the full effect. So let me get you guys over here and show you what we are going to be doing. All right, so here is our, oh, it doesn't work. Okay. That's all right. Here is the inspiration photo that we are going to be using. We're going to be doing the raccoon with the gift in his hand. If I have room on this size, I'll add the balloons, but I don't know if I'm going to have room or not. So we'll see how my drawing ends up. So I'm going to show you how to draw it, and I'm going to show you how to paint it. So everybody go ahead and take a screenshot if you need to. If you want to have a reference, go ahead and screenshot it now, and that's the time to do that. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are going to begin. Now, let me show you before I put you back in the thing, how we're going to draw this, okay? Remember, we draw in shapes. So we have, this is kind of like a triangle with 2 flat ends. So it's like the middle of a triangle. So that's the shape we're using there. Here, same thing. We're going to use a rounded triangle with a base. Here we have ovals. Here we have a long oval. And we have obviously a square there, the and then our feet are ovals as well. So our feet are ovals as well. So that is how we are going to end up. Martha, thank you so much for that purchase. You're going to love those pencils so much. Congratulations. You're going to love them. Okay. So if you struggle with drawing, just remember everything has shapes. Okay. And that's how we're going to draw it. Additionally, if we're drawing, like when we're drawing the arms, we're going to use that continuous contour. So we're going to look and think to ourselves, if my eye is moving down, my hand is moving down, or my pencil lead. If my eye is moving over and in and out and in and out, then my hand is doing the same thing. So your hand does what your eyes do. Okay. So that is how we're going to draw this, but I'm going to show you guys. So don't panic. If you think you can't draw, you can. Okay. You totally can. We're about to do it. All right, here we go. Let me get you guys put back in here. Let me know if you lose my audio. Okay. Cause I don't always see, if that works. I don't want to put y'all so far up there that you lose my audio, but I have to make sure you're stable. Okay. Let me move you down. Okay, are we good? All right, y'all give me some I'm readies in the comment so that I know we are ready to go. All right, let me know. Alexa, play Spotify. All right, Kinder Kelly's ready to go. Broken Arrow is ready. Kristen's ready. All right, woohoo, I love it. Okay, so here's how we're going to start. And the reason I'm doing this is because I feel like it's the best place to start is going to be with the present in the center, okay? And that's going to kind of give me the ability to to size it correctly. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the bottom of the present first. And remember, the present's kind of angled a little bit, so we're going to angle it. So think about the fact that the present is a square. All right, light hand because we want to be able to erase. All right, so we're going to do this square kind of tilted to the right. Okay, so all we're doing is a square in the middle, basically in the middle of the page. All right, tilted to the right. All right, you guys let me know if you're struggling with that. Hopefully we're not. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our eraser and we're going to erase the lines where we want the hands to go. And that's going to give us our starting point for the raccoon. All right, so we have those spaces erased. And we're going to go ahead and come just below where this line starts. And we're going to make our oval. All right, so we're going to bring our half oval just like that. And then we're going to make our fingers in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, so he's got 3 little fingers there. I know it looks weird right now. Remember to trust the process. Remember last night when we were doing this little guy and he looked like a hot mess when we started? Okay, just know he's not going to be a hot mess. He's a hot mess now, but he is going to get better, all right? So I just don't want you guys to panic if he starts looking crazy to start, okay? Same thing over here, but what we're going to do with this oval is we're going to bring him from just above this top right-hand corner, and we're going to bring it down like this, okay? So we've got this kind of bottom part of the oval there, okay? And we are going to bring him across his fingers in, and down, just like that. Okay, so now we have his arm, but his arm also kind of comes down and connects a little bit lower. So erase right here by his last finger and bring that kind of down below. Okay, so we still have our gift here, but that part of his arm is lower. Okay. All right, so there's where we're at. Are we good? Y'all let me know if there's any issues, all right? Okay, so now that we have that done, we're going to bring this part of his arm up to the gift. So it's kind of coming out from behind. So all we're doing is just kind of round. It's like a little parentheses we're making right there. Okay, so now we show him holding the present, right? Okay, now from down here, we're going to go down and we're going to do the rest of his body. We're going to do this oval is going to come from the corner of the present and it's going to go around and it's going to come up to this part of his arm, okay? So you're going to start at the corner. You're going to draw your oval and just sketch it. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be something that's not going to show in the end drawing. And then come back around and come around like this. So you have your little oval, okay? Now, he has a completed oval inside his belly. And it starts right at the corner of this gift, okay? So we're going to go around the inside and make his little belly and complete that oval all the way up like that. All right? Okay, so there's where we're at. Tell me how we're doing. Everybody still in there? Give me some thumbs up in the comments. I need to know where we're at. Make sure everybody's good. Because I know I tend to sometimes be a little faster than everybody. So I don't want to go too fast. If you need me to repeat it, you need me to do something else, let me know. Okay, so we have this unclosed or this open oval, and then we have a closed oval. Good. Stacy says thumbs up. Kinder Kelly says thumbs up. Good, 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 good. Yay. Okay. All right. So now we are going to bring his legs out. Now, when we do his legs, we need to understand that they connect at this oval, this closed oval. All right. And we're just going to make these 2 reverse parentheses like this. Okay. So just make 2 little parentheses facing each other. Make sure you have enough space to draw his little legs that are going to come down. So these little legs come down like this. Okay. And then we've got another oval for his feet. They come out like this. So the tops of the oval come out like this. Just like we were going to draw an oval. The only difference is we're going to make his feet kind of flat. And they come down and make his heel. Okay. And then we're going to have his little toes coming up like this. Okay. And those are just to give us an idea. All right. They're not going to be perfect. Okay. We good so far? What does the pic look like that you're drawing? Okay, Sarah, let me show you. That. Hang on. I've got to take this out of my. All right. Here is our inspiration pic. If you want to take a screenshot of it, that is what we're using. Okay. And this was generated by, no worries. No worries. Ask all the questions you want. Okay, Sarah. I put my art into ChatGPT and I tell it, use my style to create. And today I said to create a cute, lovable raccoon. So it used my style of painting, which is this. These are all my things. And it created, I actually put those into ChatGPT and had it create it. So I'm not copying someone else's work. I'm just simply using my style and getting an inspiration image. Okay. Now, just so you know, it will not end up like this. Okay. Ours is going to be different. We just use this as a reference. Okay. All right. Hope that helped. Do I need to hold that on there for you to screenshot? I'll give everybody another chance to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now I'm going to move you guys back. Sorry, guys. I know it's kind of crazy when I'm moving the camera around. I just don't have a really good tripod that's going to do what you guys need it to do. I wish I did, but maybe somebody will send me one for free on TikTok Shop. But right now we're using what I have. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me? I didn't cover up my microphone, right? Let me know if I did. Okay. So, all right. So now it is time to move to his tail. And his tail is going to come right down here just above his foot, okay? And it's going to come down and up and to a point. And then it's going to be wide because their tails are bigger. So we don't want to start here to do the point. We want to kind of start over a little bit and kind of just bring it down. Now, when we add our hair to it, we're gonna see that come together. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right. Thank you, Sarah. That is very sweet. Thank you so much. I come on usually every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to teach classes. But on Wednesdays, a lot of times I have my grandchildren in the morning, so I'm not able to. So on Wednesday nights, I'm usually on. And sometimes on Friday nights I'm on. Sometimes I come on Friday mornings and Friday night. And we just do tutorials and we learn together. So that's just, just for fun. Okay, so now we have the gift. Remember the gift is right here. So that is where his little face is going to be. All right. So, and this is the reason that I tape to a piece of wood, so I can turn my paper when I need to. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this because his face is kind of tilted. And we're going to do an upside down parentheses, and we're going to use the present line to make that. So it's like a smiley face. Okay. That is going to be his little snout, for lack of a better term. All right. And we're going to go across, and we're going to do that same thing upside down. We're going to go like this across all the way back down. Okay. So that's his little snout. And then we're going to do that little oval that I was telling you guys about. We're going to go kind of up. Let me just, hang on. Sorry, that was a mess up. Be sure you keep an eraser on hand too, guys, because it's okay to mess up and erase and redraw. Okay, so we're going to kind of come in a little bit, and then we're going to go up. And make that triangle. It's a rounded triangle down to the corner. Okay. Got it? All right, now we're going to do his ears. They're little ovals. So we've got an oval here for his ear. And we have an oval here for his ear. And this one's a little bit more pointy because he's kind of turned sideways, okay? All right, now we have to remember that we have this little, his little eyes go kind of, they kind of follow the contour of his face. Okay. This needs to come in some. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and do his nose, which is going to be right here. So we're going to erase this and give it room for his little nose. And we're going to do a little oval right here where his nose is. And then let's go ahead and just draw his mouth in so we can kind of see what he's going to look like. Okay. All right. So there is our, and I think we do have room. What do you guys think? Maybe we just do some little hearts like this. They don't have to be big, right? They can be normal. And then we can just have some balloons like that. Okay. Just for now. We'll also do some little hearts just around him as well. Like that. Okay. For now. Now just know, okay, he's going to be a hot mess, total and complete hot mess to start. Okay. The idea behind just sketching your drawing out is not to control it so much, like not to control the drawing so much that he's perfect before you even start to put color on him. Okay. Now, yes, you want to make sure that he looks the way that he's supposed to in a general manner, but you don't have to be overly obsessive about it, because if you are, then you end up being disappointed in the end, because it's not going to be what you see in your head, guys, okay? This is only going to be like it's going to be your art. So like what you do today is not going to look like what I do. So it's very important that you understand you have your own style, you have your own like way of drawing, all the things. So don't feel like it has to look just like mine. Don't have any expectations. Let them go. Understand that expectations are the worst thing you can have as an artist, okay? Just enjoy the journey to getting to the results, okay? All right, so now we are going to put our pencils away, And we are going to go ahead and pull out, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Meeden number 5, I think. No, this is Meeden number 7. I'm going to pull out the Meeden number 7. This set is pinned below. And what we are going to, oh, where is my water? I didn't even check my water, you guys. I should have plenty, but yeah, okay. Let me get my water over here. Ugh. Okay. All right. So we are going to use our Meeden number 7. And we are going to put water over the top of this, okay? All over the top. Now, I know you guys are like, what are you doing? Okay, trust me in this process, okay? Now, I'm going to give him a pink background. So I'm going to use my pink. Hang on, let me get it. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to use this pink right here. You can use whatever color you want for your background. But I'm using this, okay, and I'm putting them all over my paper. Now, no, okay, this is going to be, you're like, oh my God, you just made the raccoon pink. No, I didn't. When I'm done, it's going to look like it's white, but it's not going to be white. It's going to have enough of a background, so dry your brush off and pick up this color, just like this. Pick it up. Pick it up. Make sure you get all the color picked up. And you're going to have just enough of a pink background that when you peel this tape off, it is going to give you a frame. Okay? But it's not going to affect, the color of your raccoon, I promise. All right? When we pull this off, it's going to have this frame around it, and it's not going to, it's going to look like this. Okay, we did the same thing with this, and you don't see any pink in this giraffe, do you? But you do see the pink around the edges, which is what we were going for, all right? So that's what we're doing there, all right? When we peel this tape, we're going to see it. And y'all, I'm already seeing that this is leaking under my tape, so I'm going to tell you guys right now that I don't like this tape, and I'm not going to recommend it. Okay, just so you know. All right. Okay, so now let's get that dry. Let's make sure that that's nice and dry. Okay, and once he's dry, it is time to switch over to our Meeden brush number 1. Okay, so this is Meeden number 1. This is what we're doing. Hey, Miss B, how are ya? Okay, so we're going to dip into our water, and we're going to, let me see what colors I want to use for this. Hang on, guys. I just need to pull out what I'm doing here. All right, so we're going to need this. Hang on. We're going to need this, and we're going to need this. This is what I love about this palette, is you can pull these paint sets out in sets of 6, or you can pull them out individually by pushing on the back. I am specifically going to be using the browns and blacks for the raccoon. So I pulled out my sets with all the browns and blacks. Okay. When I'm done with the set, I always put it back where it goes so I don't forget the order. Although even though I have the swatch cards, so I could always put them back in order, but it's nice not to have to pull those out. Okay, so we're going to use, we're going to get our number 1 brush, and we're going to go ahead and give certain parts of our raccoon a base color. All right, so I'm going to take my mix out. I'm going to take my palette out, and I'm going to mix me a base color using the bisque color, which is right here. And I'm going to use a little bit, not much, of this ochre color. And I'm going to make kind of like a tan, if you will. I want to have more of the bisque than I do of the ochre. I want it to be very, very light. Okay, so we're going to mix those colors and come up with this very light skin tone, okay? So that's what we're going to use. And we are going to do his snout, which is this area right here. So go ahead and paint that in. Go around the nose. Move this out of the way. And don't worry about, if you get a little bit out of line, it doesn't matter because we're going to be doing hair on him. We're going to be splattering and smearing and all the things. So there's no reason to panic if you get out of line. Okay. All right. So there's his snout. We're also going to do his ears. And we are going to, Alexa, play Spotify. Why is my Alexa not on? Hang on, guys. Sorry, it's too quiet. I don't know what happened here. Oh, okay. Sorry, my Alexa got unplugged. That's why. Don't know how that happened, but it did. All right, so I'm going to give that a minute to reset, and then we'll have some music playing, you guys. Okay, same thing, though. We're going to go with the belly also. So make sure we put the belly with the lighter color. Okay, now, again, he's going to look like a hot mess for a while. You guys have to trust the process. All right, don't hesitate to trust the process. It's very important. Okay. I'm going to do some stripes in his tail with this color as well. Okay, so we want to go with some lighter. And then some, like the middle is going to be fine. Okay, we're going to go with some darker with that. All right. Okay, so we have that. And then we also want to go just above his eyes with this lighter color. So just follow the shape of his eyes right here in the middle and up and around. Okay. All right. So there's where we're at so far. How are we doing? Golden Girl, thank you. He's a hot mess right now, but he's going to look better. Okay. He looked like this little dude that we did yesterday was a total hot mess too when we started. But when we finished, this is what he came out to be. So we are going to, he's going to end up really super cute when we get done. Okay. All right. Are we all good? Thumbs up in the comments if we're good. I know a lot of you guys are painting along with me. So let me know that you're caught up and you're where you need to be. Golden Girl, I'm glad you found me too. I want to. All right, Kinder Kelly says she's good. Awesome. I'm glad you found me too because we have fun here. And sometimes our stuff ends up at the end a total hot mess too. And that's okay too. Messing up is allowed. Okay. So, but we are going to, I think he's going to turn out super cute when we get done. All right. So we're going to go ahead. Chris says thumbs up. Chris, welcome in. Kristen says thumbs up. Yay. Okay. Good. Everybody's good. Stacy Lee says thumbs up. All right. So now let's go ahead and we're going to move to this darker color, which is the raw umber. We're going to move to this darker brown. Okay. So I want everybody to go ahead and dip into their water, get some darker brown. And if you need to, I always keep a paper towel right beside me. So if I get too much water, I can just touch it and it takes some of that water off of my brush. Okay. Because we don't want it to go all over the place. Okay. So what we're going to do with this darker color is we are going to go on first, we're going to go on the inside of his eyes right here only. We're not going to go, we're going to leave that middle part open, okay? We're going to go on the inside of this eye too, just like that. Oh, that's not quite dark enough. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to take some of that regular ochre color, okay, that we used to mix, and we're going to go on the inside while it's still wet so it can kind of blend together. So you've got a lighter brown and a darker brown, and they're both blending together, okay? And don't worry too much about what it looks like right now, because we're going to be putting some details in a little while, and it will all come together, I promise. Okay, so we have that. Got it? All right, so it looks like he's a little blind raccoon right now, but that's okay. We're going to give him some eyes in a minute. We're also going to take this ochre color, and we're going to put a little bit of that ochre color over the top here. Right here. Around where we did the light eyes. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it in there. Okay. So we have that. Okay. Now we're going to take that dark right here, this burnt umber, and we're going to do the inside of his ears with that dark. Okay. Just know that all of this is going to come together when we start putting the details in. If you get it too dark, put some water in it. Take a dry brush. I'm adding water, okay? I'm drying my brush right here on this paper towel, and then I'm going to lift. And look, you see how that lightened up? Great thing about watercolors is it's very forgiving, and you can always add water and lighten it up, okay? So that's what I'm doing there. Hey, Jody. I came on at 7. At 7. Hey, Mom. How's it going? Yay, Martha. I'm so glad. You are going to have so much fun painting with us. I'm so glad you got it. And I appreciate you supporting my showcase by doing that. It is very, very helpful. It's all right, Jody. The replay will be uploaded to my Tube of You. Tomorrow morning, I'll be uploading it. The other two, this one, which was yesterday's, and this one, which was Monday's, those are already up on my Tube of You channel right now. So you can go to them and you can do the replays on these two. Okay. And I load them in their entirety. You can fast forward through all the product stuff, all the things. And I promote the products on here because honestly, it's a side hustle for me and that's how I do it. And I appreciate everybody who purchases, but on my YouTube channel or on my Tube of You channel, sorry, hope I don't get flagged for that. I appreciate the fact that, you know, you can fast forward through all of that. Well, Martha, I'm hoping that you learn too. You'll enjoy it. Well, I promise. Everybody that joins me usually can figure it out pretty quickly. It's a skill set. It's not something you have to be born with. Hey, Rhonda. Jody, I'll be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time in the morning. 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's when I'll be on tomorrow. Okay, so we have the eyes going. We've got his hair. We've got all the things, okay? So now we are going to do his fur around his belly and his hands. That's going to be the darker brown, okay? So we're going to go ahead and dip into that and add that in there. It's going to be darker. And just kind of fill that in. It doesn't have to be super dark. It just needs to be darker than his snout, okay? So just know that we don't need it to be like super dark. We want it to be just dark enough that you can tell the difference between the two, but not so dark that we're not going to have a way to contrast and add shading and all the things, okay? Remember, you can always dry your brush and lift, or you can add water and lift and make it lighter if you need to. So do his feet and around his belly. Alexa, play Spotify. Let's see if she's plugged in now.
I can't find the song. Let's see if she's plugged in now on Spotify.
Oh, oops. Alexa, play Spotify.
Playing Bible study music from Spotify.
Perfect. Okay, so now we have that, and let's go ahead and add in the stripes. Perfect, Jody. I can't wait to see you in the morning. So, yes, I can do that. Sorry about not seeing that comment. These are the paints that we are using tonight. They are actually flash saled right now, and they're on a flash sale, and they will last you a very long time because they are highly pigmented and you don't have to use a ton of paint every single time you use them. So just so you know. Sorry if I missed your comment. Okay, let's go ahead and add in our stripes with our brown. Okay, so just go around those light stripes that we've already got on there. And we'll come back through and fix all this. So it's okay if it looks like a hot mess right now. It's supposed to. It's always going to look like a hot mess when you start. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so we've got all that going on. Let's go ahead and move on to the present. And so doing the present, what we are going to, do you like the Grabby brand? I have a set of those. I have never tried their brand of paints. However, they did reach out to me today and they are sending me a set of their paints. So I will let you know once I have used them if I like them. But currently I have not ever used their paint, so I can't answer that question. Okay, let's see. We're going to go ahead and do pink. So I'm going to pull that pink back out again that we used in our background, and we're going to use that, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to make a, just put a little bit in there and then rinse your brush and kind of spread it out. You don't want it to be too dark. You want it to be fairly light. And we want to make sure that it stays fairly wet because we're going to do some shading on this. All right. So leave it wet and let's go ahead and add in some darker shading right along the bottom right here. And along the side right here. That's going to be that dimensional part that we want to make the box. Okay, so all this is light, and then we have that darker edging. And we'll put our detail in on that in a minute. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and dry that. Okay, and you see what a hot mess he looks like right now? He is crazy looking. That's okay. I'm gonna grab some black, and I'm gonna put a little bit of black right here at the base of his nose. Right across the bottom right here. And then I'm gonna rinse my brush. I'm going to take it and I'm going to spread it up his nose. So he has kind of a grayish nose, but he's got that darker shadow at the base. Add more if you need to. Okay. All right. Let's try that. Okay, he's looking good. He's looking good, looking good, looking good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put this up. We're going to put our, you are so welcome, Golden Girl. We're going to put up the brush number 1. We're going to pull out our detail brush, which is somewhere around here. What did I do with it? Where did I stick it? Uh-oh, I don't know what I did with it. Here it is. Well, if I can get to it. All right. Okay, so we're going to use the 00 of the golden maple. Let me go ahead and put those up for you guys so you know what I'm using. Right here is the brushes, okay, that I'm using for this. And we're going to do his little eyes. So I'm going to dip into the black. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do just his little, it's like a little parentheses. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing right over here on this one. Okay, so we have his little eye. Now I'm not going to do his mouth because we're going to be doing, I don't want to have to put water on that. Or I may have to put water on that. And if I do, and I use black watercolor paint on it, it will smear. So we're going to do that with our micron pen. Okay. Let's see what else we need to do from a detail standpoint with this brush. Probably, I think that's it. Okay. All right. So we're going to put this brush away. All right. Now we are going to go ahead and pull out our microns, okay? It is time to start bringing this baby to life. Now, I know he looks a little crazy, y'all. I know that. But he's not going to be when we're done, okay? So these are the pens that we are using right here. Now, just so you guys know, they are very low in stock right now. There's only 8 of them available right now because they have been selling fast. But we are going to be using the, hang on and I will tell you, we're going to use the 005 and the 01. Okay, so 005 and 01 are what we are going to be using. Okay. Just so you guys know. All right. Now, okay, so let's go ahead and pull out the 005, and we're going to start with that one, all right? Let me go ahead and pull up my reference photo again. Okay, so this is going to show us how to, like, the details are what's going to bring him to life, okay? So let's go ahead and do the mouth first because I want you guys to see how this works. So we're going to go up and down, and we're just going to kind of fill in the corner of his mouth like that. Okay. And then again, right here, we're going to go up and down. And we're going to fill in the corner just a little bit. And then we're going to make his mouth come all the way. And again, that's why I tape mine to wood so I can move my paper around. A lot of people say that's not good to do that in your art, but that's just the way that I am. So I can't help it. And I'm not a classically trained artist, so. Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit. Sorry. How's that? Is that better? Let me know, Miss Kristen, if that's better for you. Okay. Does that help? Yes. Okay. No, don't apologize. That's perfect. Whatever you guys need. That's the reason we're here, to learn. Good. Okay. You guys have to let me know that, Kinder Kelly. Y'all have to let me know, okay, if that happens. Okay. Don't hesitate to ask. All right. That is why I am here. I want you guys to ask so that you'll have the best view. I wish I had a better setup. I just don't. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do we're going to start giving him some hair, okay? And as we do this, we are going to also do some shading so that when we do our shading with the colored pencil, it all comes together, okay? So let's go ahead and start with his snout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this little snout line, and I'm going to kind of give him hair as I go. Okay, kind of like that. So he's going to have, like, I'm not just drawing a line. I'm actually giving him hair as I touch the line, okay? And then when I get here to the tip, I'm bringing it out further because I want him to have these little pointy cheeks with hair, okay? And at the same time, I want his hair to be coming down like this across the bottom, okay? Are you guys seeing how I'm doing that? Okay. All right. Now, across the present, it's kind of covering his chin, so I'm just going to draw a line to start, okay? But also, I want a few little, very small little hairs to just kind of look like it's like it's kind of pushing on his hair up against his chin there, okay? And then we're going to turn him. We're going to go this way with it. So we're going to do that same thing. We're going to go out with his hair as we go through here. Sorry, you guys, about the dings. My computer should probably turn that down. Got a bunch of text messages coming through. That's why I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I do this. Okay, so we're kind of following this line. And then again, we're going to do that same thing right here. I'm going to bring that hair across his snout. And then here at the corners, we're going to kind of bring it out. So he has that fun little... Okay, and you can even bring some of the hairs in more. So he looks like he kind of has some whiskers coming out. Okay, don't worry. When we get in with the colored pencil, that's going to all blend together. Okay, so it may look a little awkward right now, but I promise you when we get that colored pencil in there, it's not going to look awkward at all. Okay. And you can make it as full or as unfull as you want. I want mine to be really fuzzy. So I'm adding lots of that to it and making sure they're coming out. And you can even do some little stray hairs if you want to that come kind of off a little bit like that. So they don't get, so they're not uniform. All right, that's the idea. Now around his nose, we're going to go ahead and just do a line. Okay, so we're just going to draw his nose, just trace his little nose. And then his eyes, we're going to go around his eyes. And we're going to kind of just follow the contour of his eyes. Like that. Okay, we're not really putting a ton of hair there. Although we do want a few little indicators that that's hair. But for the most part, we just want to follow the contours, okay? And you guys, I teach this like I know what I'm doing. I just want you guys to know that I've never been trained in art. I don't know what I'm doing. And I am winging this with the best of them. So it's important for you guys to know that everything I do is not going to be exactly correct. And it's okay if you don't agree with the way that I'm doing it. It won't hurt my feelings. We're going to give him some little hair coming off his nose there. And maybe even come up with a few little marks right here around his eyes. Okay? Like that. Okay? We're also going to come up here at the top. So he has some hair kind of outlining that area that we want to be a little lighter, which is going to end up lighter once we get our colored pencil out, okay? And then go right along here. Okay? Yes, Kaylin, I'm doing it the Coach Ellen way. You are absolutely right. Okay. Hang on. All right, so just continue to add that fuzziness wherever you feel like you want it. I'm going to thicken this up right along here a little bit. And then we're going to go over his ear. Again, that ear hair is going to be kind of a little crazy. So we want it to be coming off of his ear a little nuts there because, you know, our ear hair gets out of control, right? And then also the inside of the ear where that we're going to bring that hair inside his ear right there. Okay. And then we're going to go here at the top. And then we're going to give him this crazy little hair at the top and then bring it off to the side. We're going to go over this ear. And bring that hair out. It's random, guys. There's no rhyme or reason to how you add the fuzz to their little bodies. Just know that whatever you do is right, okay? There is no right or wrong. Bring some up in here. Okay, and then continue down this direction. Okay, all right, so that's his face. All right, now what I want you guys to realize is that there is a process to this. So we've done the base coats, we've done a little shading, and we've done some detail work on his head. Now, if we were to bring in our colored pencils, which is what I'm going to do now, just so you can see what I'm talking about, because I don't want you to get discouraged. So I'm going to pull out my colored pencils, and you guys know you have to layer these. So you do light touch first, and then you do dark. So you're going to, so when we start to layer, let's say we're going to go around the eyes here. So we're going to color in this light color around the eye. Okay. And then we're going to come in with the dark color around the eye. Just slightly. And then we're going to come around again with the light color, but with a little bit heavier touch over the whole thing again. And then we're going to come in with the dark color with a little bit heavier touch. Okay. And then even maybe in this corner just a tad right there. Okay. Now I want you guys to see the difference in those eyes. Okay. Do you see the difference in the two eyes? This one has dimension and depth, and this one is very flat. All right. Do you see that? Okay, I want everybody to understand that's what we're going to get to, okay? So don't get frustrated at where you're at. It's important for you guys. Hey, as Kate sees it, I want you guys to understand that Aubrey, thank you so much for your purchase. Congratulations. You're going to love those pins. I want you guys to understand that this is what we're going to get to, but we have to get the base on first, okay? So don't get frustrated. Don't give up. Keep going, all right? So it may look like a hot mess now, but it's not gonna be that way, all right? So go ahead and continue down his body, giving him the hair that he needs, and outlining where you feel like you need to outline. So like I'm gonna outline his little fingers right here and down. And I'm going to bring them in even. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that down like this. And I'm going to bring that hair in because I want him to be, I want his hair to follow the contours of his arm there. So you can see the difference, okay? And right here, where that present is, remember, he's gonna have a little bit of a shadow. So you can do some cross hatching there if you need to, where his chin is, okay? And then go ahead and follow his belly. Maybe even have some extra like fuzzies coming out a little further. And then we're gonna go up the tail and even in between here. Okay. And that's where I told you that point would come together at some point. So just don't underestimate the power of details, because they will definitely bring this thing to life. He's going to have such a personality when we get finished with him. And again, I'm just going to go right across where I'm just doing like a zigzag pattern where his tail is kind of changing colors. And then I'm going to add some hair in every direction with that as well, along with just some little marks here and there to make it come together. Okay, and we'll put some detail work in with that with the pencils too, so no worries there. Okay, so we have his tail, and then we're going to continue to bring his little belly and his tail together, and then come in and around with his feet. Okay. And guys, you don't have to have talent to do this, y'all. I'm telling you, you don't have to be born with it. Okay, I taught myself this from watching videos. I promise you, you do not have to be born with talent to be able to do this. Join me on a daily basis and learn, okay? Grab some watercolor paints and learn. Let me mark the paints that we're using so you guys know. These are the paints that we used. So if you're wanting to learn to watercolor paint, those are the paints that I'm going to recommend, okay? All right, go ahead and outline. We're using a 005 in that pen too, for those of you who are wondering what number pen we're using. Okay. Thank you, Rocky Abroad. I think he's cute. He's going to be even cuter when we get all the detail work in. Let's add those toes. And let's get his hair in there. We just have to bring that hair down. Just make sure he has kind of like the Berenstain Bears. You guys remember the Berenstain Bears? That's how I feel about him. I think he kind of has that feel to it. All right. Okay, so now he has his hair. I'm not worried about the hearts. We'll do those last. All right, now here's what we need to do. We need to put the ribbon on the gift before we do the detail on the gift, okay? And then we'll start working with our pencils. So here's, well, actually we need a detail on the gift, okay? And then we'll start working with our pencils. So here's, well, actually we need to actually do the gift itself. So let's do that first. So let's go ahead and give the edge of the gift. Okay, so all we did was just give the edge of our gift so it looked dimensional. And then we are going to add in the ribbon across the middle with our detail brush. So go ahead and get out that golden maple brush and do your little ribbon. Dry that. Okay, and then we'll do the gift, like the ribbon itself, like this. It's like a heart with two little loopies at the bottom, okay? All right, now what we're gonna do, make sure that's dry, and then we'll put some detail on that. No, the red is a gift. Sorry, I'm just now getting to it. I know, right? I love the Berenstein Bears too. Golden Girl, the paper that I'm using is right here. It is the Meeden paper, and it is, I've cut it into an ACO size. So it is actually a, it comes in a 5x7 size, and it is the cold press 100% cotton. It's 5x7. So you can cut 2.5 by 3.5 sheets, and you don't have any waste. So if you equally cut this in 2.5 by 3.5, you don't have any paper that you waste. So you get 4 of this size out of 1 sheet of this paper, which is great because you end up with 80 ACO sizes. So that is one, and that's one of the reasons I love this size, but this paper is amazing. So I've pinned it below for you. All right, hope that helps. Okay, so it's a great paper, you guys. Amazing. All right, so now we have we're back to our 005 pen. You are so welcome. We're back to our 005 pen, and we are going to put some detail in this bow on this gift. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just kind of give it some lines. No rhyme or reason to these lines, okay? Just basically just outline it. And then you're going to do the same thing with the ribbon, okay? You're going to do this little square in the center, and you're just going to bring them down, okay? So all we're doing is kind of just outlining it and giving it some kind of loose lines, okay, to give it some detail work, okay? You can even go up a little bit if you wanted to with some of the bow. You can bring it down further if you want to. It doesn't have to be exact. The idea is for it to be very loose. All right. Perfect. All right. So now we are going to need to do some shadow work. Well, let's do his belly first. We didn't do his little belly here. Let's get his belly done. Forgot about that. Okay. So let's get hair in his belly. Okay, so, but we need to get some shadow work done, okay? Right here on his leg, there's going to be some shadow because his belly's going to kind of pops out, right? And so it's going to cover his leg. So we want to have some shadow in there. So what we're going to do is going to follow the contours of those legs. Okay, kind of like this. And then we're going to cross hatch that. So we're going to go the opposite direction and get some cross-hatching shading in there, all right? So that as we do his legs, when we get ready to do the pencil work on his legs, that cross-hatching is going to come into play. Okay? And by cross-hatching, what I mean is this. Let me grab some paper and show you guys what I'm talking about, because I don't want you to be confused. Okay? So this is what I mean by cross-hatching. This way, and then the opposite way. Okay, that's cross-hatching. So we want to make sure that as we do that, now it looks kind of funky right now, but it's not gonna when we get the pencils into play. Okay, same thing right here underneath his arm where it hits his body. Okay, and right over here where it hits under the present right there. Okay. The other places that I would want to see that is maybe in the corners of his eyes right here. And right here. Okay. Okay, so we've got that going on. All right. Now, let's see. Let's follow the contours of his nose. We're not going to crosshatch. We're just going to follow the contour of his nose right here at the bottom. So it's a little darker. And then also right here at the toes. Okay. All right. Now it is time to pull out the colored pencils, because we are going to literally bring this guy to life with the colored pencils, getting our shading done, okay? So, let me pull that up for you. Let's see, where are they? Here are the pencils that I'm using tonight. These are the So Color pencils. Okay, I am using a dark ochre. I'm using an ochre. I am going to use a sepia, and I'm going to use a coffee. Okay, those are the colors that I'm going to use currently for the body, for all of the hair and the body, okay? We will also be using some pinks and some grays in a minute too, but I'll show you those colors in a minute. Currently, these are the colors that we're using, all right? So I'm going to pull out the ochre first, okay? Now, when you're using colored pencils, you want to make sure that you layer them, okay? So you do a light touch the first time, and then you do a darker light touch, and then you go back to your light color again, and you do that, and you go back and forth until you get it where you want it. If you do it all at once, you end up with lines, and you end up with crazy like stuff that doesn't work, okay? You don't want to do that, okay? So you want to make sure that you're taking your time on this, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this ochre, and we're going to see how we did this eye, because we did this eye so I could show you guys. If you guys can see the difference in this eye versus this eye, this one's kind of flat, and this one has some dimension. That's because I've already done the colored pencil in this, because I wanted you guys to see earlier what it was going to look like, okay? So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to take our ochre and we're going to color lightly in this eye, okay? Just around the edges, but it's going to come out further than the darker. Then we're going to take our, was it the sepia? I can't remember if I used the sepia or if I used the coffee, but we're going to go lightly with the sepia, okay? Now again, I'm going to go over it with the light color, with the ochre. Oh, that's the wrong color. With the ochre color, and I'm going to use a little bit heavier hand this time as I go over it. And now I'm going to do the coffee with a heavier hand. Okay. And then again with the light. Okay. So now you can see how that brings those eyes out. They're like popping. Okay. So now they pop off the screen much, much better. Do y'all see that? Okay, everybody give me a thumbs up or some comments so I know that we are all on the same page still and that everybody is caught up to where we're at. Do I need to slow down? Do I need to speed up? How's it going with everybody? I just want to check in. It's check-in time. Pamela says, woohoo. Kinder Kelly says, thumbs up. Good. Okay, so we're doing good. Excellent. Great, great, great. Okay, I want to make sure that I did that exactly the way I did the first eye. I couldn't remember the colors that I used, you guys. So I want to make sure I did that right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So the eyes are done. So now let's do the head. Okay. Thank you, Kaylin. Yay, Martha. I can't either. The giraffe name? Yes. The giraffe's name is Learning to Stand Tall. That's what I named him. Learning to Stand Tall. So this piece from yesterday that we did, Learning to Stand Tall. My favorite coloring medium. I mean, I love colored pencils for coloring, but I like to mix everything together and use them all as one. So yeah. I love watercolor as a painting medium, but then I love to incorporate colored pencils on top of that for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead now. We're going to use the ochre. Okay, and we're going to go right around the top of his head with that ochre with a very light touch, okay? We're not going to use a heavy touch, just enough. It does need to be a wider area than the coffee. The coffee is going to be closer to the edge. We're not going to go out as wide with that. But again, we're going to use a light touch. Okay. Then we're going to use the ochre again. And we are going to go with a little bit darker or a little bit heavier hand. Okay. Again, take the coffee, a little heavier hand. Around the edge. Okay. And then one more time with this lighter ochre and the heaviest hand. Okay. Now, same thing right here at his nose. Same way. Okay, you have to layer these pencils. If you don't, you're going to end up with just a bunch of scribbles. It's going to look like you scribbled on it. You don't want that. Okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white and I'm just going to color in the center and lighten up his forehead just a tad. You see how that lightened up with that white? And now we have that. You see how that does with his head? How that makes his head pop? Yes, yes, yes. Vega, welcome in. How are you? I hope that you're good. All right. So now we are going to go ahead and we are going to do his snout. Okay. I don't know. It's not a snout, but whatever you call this part of his face. Okay. And we are going to go ahead and bring that in. Now, he's already fairly light. We don't want to make it too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ochre and the dark ochre to do this. I'm going to need to get my pencil sharpener out though, because these need to be sharpened because I was mashing pretty hard on that last one. So I want to make sure that I have these sharp because I don't want to go too wide with these. Now, I'm going to tell you this about these pencils. These So Color pencils I've had for a while. What I will tell you is that They are soft core, but they don't break when you sharpen them very easily. Normally, soft core pencils will break very easily in a pencil sharpener. These hold up really well. It's one of the reasons that I love them so much. But I love a soft core pencil. But again, the leads tend to break really easily, and these are not breaking like that. So I love these for that reason. So, okay. Christina, thank you for your purchase. You're going to love those pencils. Congratulations. You're going to love them so much. I love them so much. They're great. Okay, so we're going to use the light ochre first, and we're going to go right around the snout, starting right here at the corner, and we're just going to kind of bring it out. I kind of color in little like ovals and circles. A very light touch, but bring it out wide enough that you can see it. And then take that dark ochre, do the same thing, but don't go out as far, okay? Keep it closer to the edges, okay? Now, if you can see the stroke marks on this right now, okay? That's because I'm doing a light touch. You have to do that first. You want to layer when you do this blending, okay? So I'm going to take that light again, and I'm going to do a little bit heavier hand this time and bring it out. A little heavier. Okay, now I'm going to do a little heavier with the darker. I'm not going to go out as far. I'm just going to keep that near the edges. And you can see how this is building up color around his little snout. Okay, again, heavier. And it kind of gives it a really good ombre effect. And then again, heavier with that darker color. Okay, so we want that to be fairly light. Okay, now I'm going to take the sepia. Okay, I'm going to take the sepia color, and I'm going to keep it very close to the edge. I'm going to keep it very close to the edge, but I'm going to give it just a little bit in the corners and around the edge. Okay. Maybe right under here just a tad, and right under here just a tad. Okay, so now, do you see that dimension building up now? You haven't done a mouse yet. No, I haven't done a mouse. I need to do a mouse. I'll have to look into that. Okay, now look at his head compared to his body. Okay, do you see the difference? He's very, very flat down here. But up here, he's very dimensional. And that's because we have taken the time to add the shading in with these colored pencils. All right, that is what is bringing this little guy to life, is these pencils. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with his ears. We're going to color his ears and color his little ears light, and then we're going to go in and we're going to highlight or darken up and shadow his ears. What do you guys think? Oh my gosh, he looks so cute. You see the difference in his head versus his body? Somebody please tell me you can see the difference, because I feel like that, I mean, I don't know if it's because of the video or not, but I feel like you can. I feel like I can see a huge difference between his head and the dimension and depth that his head has compared to his body, because his body doesn't have the shading on it yet. So I'm going to get my white now, and I'm going to blend all this together, lighten up the middle of his little snout. Yeah. Good, Martha. Okay, good. Golden girl. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's what I love. I want to make sure that you guys can see that in the video, because sometimes it's hard. So, all right, let me get a drink. Cool. Hey, Low T, how's it going? I hadn't seen you in here in a while. When are y'all going to be down again? We hadn't hung out in a while. We need to hang out. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get to the darker parts of his body. Now, just so you guys know, the darker parts of his body are going to be a little bit harder to shade because it's dark. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the coffee and the sepia. Okay, they're very close together, but we're also probably going to pull in some of the black, okay, because we want to make sure. Oh, awesome. Cool. Be sure you text us and let us know when you're in town. Okay. So let's go ahead and add in a little bit of the coffee. That's the sepia. Grab the coffee, and we're going to take some of that shadow right here at the top of his shoulder and right here underneath his hand and up at the top of his shoulder. Okay. And then we're going to take the black and we're going to stay closer to the corners. Okay, we don't want to put too much of that black in there. Okay, but we definitely want it to be there. I want to put the tips of his fingers with some of this coffee color too. Okay, that was simple because it was a small area. You didn't have to layer a whole lot. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing here, but think about this. Remember we did that cross hatching here? So when you do that cross hatching, you can do less shading because the cross hatching gives you some of the shading automatically. So you get that darkness that you want without having to do a ton of shading. It just gives you kind of some depth. The shading gives you depth, but the cross hatching gives you the actual shading itself. Do you guys see that? How that worked? Okay, so now we're going to keep doing that. We're going to do that right across here where we did that cross hatching as well, where his feet and his legs kind of come together. Light-handed at first. Okay, light-handed. And then I'm going to take the black, and in the middle right here, I'm going to put some of that black in, and then right up here in the corner. And then again, I'm going to go over it again. A little bit darker hand, or a little bit heavier pressure. Like this. I'm going to give this a little bit of a shade all the way down. Not much. Just barely staying on the edge. Okay. All right. And now let's go ahead and take the sepia. Oh, that's not sepia. Take the sepia and go kind of just give it a little bit of an outline around his foot and around the toes, to kind of bring that all together. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. All right. We're going to take the sepia and we're going to color in right here along the base of the tail and along the base of the tail here in this brown area. And right here, we're going to take the ochre and we're going to do the light areas of his tail. Then we're going to take the dark ochre and do the inside of the light areas of the tail. We're going to take the coffee and do the inside of the areas of the dark sides of the tail. And maybe even a little bit right here at the tip with that coffee. Okay. Again, the ochre, a little bit heavier pressure, and then the dark ochre, a little bit heavier pressure. You know what? I'm going to give that right here too, right at the top. There we go. Okay. All right. So far, I think it's looking good. It's starting to pop. Unhinged and feral. I love that. I have a shirt that says that. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Okay, so now we are going to do the belly, okay? And then we're going to be very close to done. We just have to do the hearts and the splatter, and we're going to be done, guys. Wow, I can't believe it. We're getting there. We're making progress, okay? I know this has been kind of a long one. It's been almost 2 hours. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take our ochre and let's kind of color in the belly. Around, and then take the coffee and don't go out quite as far. Okay, now look, see how you can see the marks of the pencil? All right, but we're going to layer it. So we're going to go a little heavier handed this time. And then a little heavier handed with the coffee. Okay, again, a little heavier handed. And you see how that kind of brought it together? Then we're going to take the white and we're going to bring it all together by just blending that out. Okay, so now we have his belly all done. These watercolor, and do they say the name of the color on the pencil? Okay, Stacy Lee, they are not watercolor pencils, and yes, they do. This says white right here. This says ochre right here. They also have a number on the tip as well. So they have the color and they have the number. But they're not watercolor, no. Also, looking at his tail, it looks a little odd. So I'm going to take the sepia and I'm going to bring in some of this darker color into the lighter parts of his tail, just to kind of blend those together, kind of across the little zigzag areas where I connected, just so that we have some of this looking a little bit better there. Okay, there we go. I think that looks better. All right, let's do the hearts. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take the rose violet and the blush. Okay, I'm gonna do the rose violet first, and I'm gonna color in the hearts. Okay, and then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take the, I'm sorry, I used the blush. I take the rose violet, which is the darker, and I'm going to give it some highlights or some shadows on the left side of each of these hearts. Okay, do the same thing. I'm going to go back over it with this blush with a darker or a heavier hand. And again, heavier hand with the rose violet. We're getting rid of these pencil marks by layering. Whoops, I mashed a little too hard on that one. Okay, and then again, one more time with this blush over the top. And then we're going to take our 005 one more time. Unhinged and Feral, that, are you talking about the pencils? Because the pencils, I have the more expensive brand. I know which brand you're talking about. And, can I move the picture down a little so we can see the heart? Oh, hang on. Let me go ahead and put the outline on it. And I will. Okay, yes, I have the more expensive brand of pencils. I know what you're talking about. The very expensive brand that starts with a P. Is that what you're talking about? Because I have those. And let me tell you something. These outplay those every day of the week. I love this. I love these pencils. They don't break when I sharpen them. They blend really easily. And I don't feel like... I feel like I just like them better. Honestly, I just do. I just like them better. I do like that brand, but I don't necessarily think that they're worth the price you pay for them. Unfortunately, I bought them years ago, and I'm telling you, they're not, they don't, this brand, it's less expensive and they do just as good, if not better. Okay. Hey, Carrie. Oh, that's all right, Carrie. I'm so sorry. I sent you, I thought I sent out a message to everybody, but if I didn't, don't worry. The replay will be up on my Tube of View channel. It'll be up tomorrow. So, okay, hang on, guys. We're going to peel this in just a second. Thank you, Golden Girl. Is it the brand from the other store? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Now, I don't want his face to get splattered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of paper towel and I'm just going to cover his little face because I don't want him to have anything in his face. All right. But I'm going to take my Meeden #1 brush. I'm going to rinse it. I'm going to get some black splatters. I'm going to get some black paint on it. Really good. And I'm going to splatter I'm doing a very light touch on this. I don't want a ton. And I'm also going to do the pink tonight. We're going to splatter pink too. So let me get this paint, or this water empty and get my brush clean. I'm going to get some of the pink. Okay, and we're going to splatter a few little pink splatters on here. Okay. Now, we're going to move this off because I didn't want to mess his face up. We're going to dry it. And then we'll peel it, and I'll show you guys that outline that I was talking about. Yes, Unhinged and Feral. You can find me on my Tube of You. You can go to my TikTok channel or my TikTok page, and you can look under my BIO, and there's some LINKS's. If you click it, it'll take you to it. All right, so he's dry. So we're going to peel this tape. Let me just double check and make sure he doesn't need any highlights or anything. You know what I need to do? I need to get my white gel pen. And I need to give his nose a little bit of a highlight right here at the top. This is not the gel pen I normally use, but I don't feel like pulling those out. So I just want y'all to know. Although I probably should have, because this is a crappy gel pen. I just want him to have the white tip of his nose. Okay. That looks a little bit better. And you know what else I think he needs, guys? Is I think he needs a little bit of some pink cheeks. So I'm going to take those pins or the pencils, and I'm going to take the lighter pink, and I'm just going to give him a little bit of a pink cheek on each side, just because I feel like that's going to give him a little bit of character. So I'm going to give him some pink cheeks, and then we're going to peel him, okay? All right, so we're going to peel, so you guys can see. Do you do step-by-step? Jamie, yes, I do. If you hit that follow button, I'm on every day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, except a lot of times on Wednesdays, I have to come on in the evenings because I have my grandkids in the mornings. So like this morning, I couldn't do it because I had my grandkids. So I come on in the evenings on the days that I have them. Tomorrow, I will be on at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Just so you know. And I do step-by-step tutorials, and we draw it, and we paint it, and we shade it. So this is not a stamp. We did a drawing tonight. We drew it from scratch. And look how cute he turned out to, you guys. Look at it. He's so cute. I love him. I love him so much. I feel like he needs a base, though, on him. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add a little bottom to him. Okay, so I'm going to take some clear water. I'm going to run it right across his feet. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the burnt, whatever that color was, raw umber, and I'm going to just run it across his feet like this. Take a little bit of the black, run it across his feet like that, and just kind of give him like a ground that he's standing on. Let's dry him. Oops. There we go. I like that better. Yep. Now he's got like, at least he has a ground that he's standing on. All right. Love it. All right. So there is tonight's tutorial. Gosh, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I had so much fun. Thank you, Golden Girl. Yes, Shelly, you can watch the replay on my Tube of You channel. It'll be up tomorrow. And you can find that on my TikTok if you look under my BIO. Yes, now he is grounded, Joanne. He definitely is. Thank you, Aubrey. It was so fun, Kinder. Yes, it was fun. Oh, that's a good idea too, Stacey Lee. Yep. But it will be, it'll be up tomorrow. Okay, so yes. So do you guys see how that leaked underneath my tape? All right, so I'm going to show you when I don't use that kind of tape, and I won't be using it anymore. I hate to even say that because I love Meeden products, you guys. I want you guys to know that this is the first Meeden product that I am not recommending, okay? But the tape that I used, do you see how clean and crisp that line is on this girl right here? That's because I used painter's tape, and you can see how sloppy that line is right there. Right there. That's because I used the Meeden tape. So just so you guys know, I'm not recommending this tape. Okay. I'm going to take it out of my showcase because unfortunately it's just not, it doesn't give me a clean line. I use just plain blue painter's tape will give you a much better line. The reason that I kept insisting on using it and trying to use it is because you can see through it, so you can see where your edges are, so you can get a good even line all the way around. But then it leaks underneath it, and I don't like that. I don't like the way that it leaks. So the tape is not recommended. Painter's tape is easier. You're welcome, Golden Girl. Makes for hard. Yes, this is the ACEO size. It's the trading card size. And so I list mine on eBay when I'm done. So these will go up. I actually had several that sold this week, which was exciting. And I'm going to go ahead and sign this right now while I'm thinking about it. 26. Can't believe it's already 2026, guys. The fact that I'm writing 26 on my art is crazy. So that was tonight's tutorial. I'm going to catch up on. Thank you, Rhonda. Appreciate you. And what's the name of the colored pencils? Because I have the ones from the others. They're pinned right below. They're pinned right here. Sorry, I got to get my hand in the screen. Right here. Okay, they're So Color. It's S-O-U Color. S-O-U Color. Okay, so if anybody wants to know, those are the pencils, the colored pencils that we used. The watercolors that we used, Unhinged and Feral. It is for ACEOs. Yes, for ACEOs, that is the best E-word that you can use for these, I think. I've had much better luck on that than on the other E-word. Yes. Kristen, you are so welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. So glad. I had so much fun with you guys. Okay, so really quickly, let me pop y'all down from here again. I'm going to take you off of this overhead view really quickly. And I'm going to put you into the mode where I can control y'all a lot easier, control the view a lot easier. Yes, tag me every time. I love it. I love it when you do. And I always will try to share it to my story too, because I want to get you guys out there as well. We can help each other, guys. It's artists supporting artists, right? There's enough room at the table for all of us, and we should all share our art and share each other's art for sure. Okay, so here was, and I also scan them, Rhonda, so I can do limited edition prints of them as well before I sell the originals. So I scan them so I have a good high resolution of them, and keep them on file, and I can do limited edition prints of them as well. So I do that. Yes. And anytime I let an original go, it makes me sad. I just want y'all to know. But I know that I have to do that as an artist. I can't keep all of my paintings. But also, when they go, it makes me sad. I don't know why. I have a printer scanner. So I put them on my printer scanner and scan them. Okay, so I think he turned out super cute. I love him. I will have a name for him by tomorrow at some point. So here is what we used tonight. Okay, first we use the colored pencils for all of the shading. I do, Jamie. They are all uploaded onto my Tube of You channel. You can go to my TikTok page. If you click my picture, go to my TikTok page, look under my BIO, and there are some LINKS. And those will take you where you need to go. Okay? Yes, Rocky Racoon. It does, Rhonda. It really does. Okay, so we used the So Color pencils, which are pinned below, to do all of the shading. The other stuff that we used were this. We used the Meeden watercolor set, this 96 color set. Has 30 metallics, it has 12 macaroons, it has your neons, and it has all of your 48 colors. And They go from lightest to darkest, so you can shade really easy with them. It also comes with a brush and a pencil, an eraser, and 2 art sponges. It comes with a palette that folds out. It just attaches and folds in when you're done with it, and you can travel with it really easy. This is a great palette. I have been using Meeden palette. Was my very first palette I ever got as a watercolor artist. I got it so I could learn how to do watercolors, and I have been using it ever since. I have a lot of expensive palettes, but I always come back to my Meeden palette. I use it every single day without fail. I can assure you there has not been a day that has gone by, maybe 5 in the last year and a half, that I haven't used my Meeden palette. I love this palette. So just so you know, if you're looking for a good palette, this is the palette for you. Okay. The other thing that we use is Meeden brushes. So I have the 4 brush set. They make a 9 brush set, but I have not needed the 9 brushes. I use the 4, and they have worked out perfectly for me. It comes with the 1, 3, 5, and 7, and they are very short, so you can control your strokes. They do not rust. The ferrule stays nice and tight. They hold their tip really easily, so you can do detail work even with your large brushes, and they hold a ton of water because they're synthetic squirrel hair. So if you're looking for a good professional brush, but you don't want to break the bank and you don't want to pay $30, $40 a brush, this is a good set for you. Okay. These are the Meeden brushes. Again, they make a 9 set and they make a 4 brush set. All right. So we use those as well. The other thing that we used was the golden maple. Hang on 1 second. The golden maple detail brushes. Okay. And these are amazing. I love these detail brushes so much. They are perfect for all of the little stuff that you need to do when you're painting. Unhinged and Ferrule, the travel size set. The one that I use is the Meeden set. It's this set right here. Let me pull it up for you just so you know. It's this set right here. Okay, and it is, I don't know what size it is. Let me measure it really quickly. It is a 7.5 by 3 inches. So it's 3 inches this way and 7.5 inches this way. And it has everything that you need in it. This is the tape that came out of it, the tape that I don't recommend, but other than that, I recommend everything else in this palette. It comes with 50 colors. Comes with a sponge, an eraser, a water brush, a regular brush, and a pencil. Even clips to hold your art, and then 50 colors. And it's the same, like it's got the same creamy, buttery texture as the Meeden palette does, but it's just littler. It's a smaller palette. So that's what I would recommend. Again, I'm in love with Meeden products, so I could be biased. I don't know, but I love their products. They always have really high quality, which makes me sad. It makes me sad to say that I can't recommend their tape because I love their products so much, but I can't. Their tape is not good, so don't buy their tape. It's in my showcase right now, and it's in this bag right here, but don't buy it because you're not going to like it. Just get you some regular painter's tape from, your hardware store and use that. Some of my recent ACOs, Carrie, yes, this was my recent duck. Okay, this guy is called Puddle Paws. He is going to be listed this week. This is I haven't named this one yet. This is the one we did on our live before I left for my New Year's trip. This is my She Walks in Color. She will be listed soon. This is the one we did yesterday. This is Learning to Stand Tall. This was our yesterday's tutorial. This was Monday's tutorial. This is The Brave Look. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. What's your favorite watercolor paper? I purchased a really expensive pad and it curls up. Yeah, no, I don't go with that. I go with the Meeden paper. Oops, sorry guys. I go with the Meeden paper every single time. It is the best. I love it. It will not curl for you. Here it is right here. Okay, it's 5x7, cold press, 100% cotton, 300 GSM. And I cut it into 4s, and you get 0 waste. So there's not that little piece on the end that you don't use, right? It comes out to a perfect 4 2.5 by 3.5 sizes. So you get 4 out of every sheet. You get 20 sheets, so you end up with 80 ACEO sizes out of this one pad. And the price point is amazing. So it's not expensive, and they are, and it's amazing. So yes, this is the best paper. Yes, the giraffe is already uploaded to my Tube of You. It's already on there for you, Carrie. It's under, I think I have a playlist that's called TikTok Lives. And if you look under there, the bear and the giraffe both are already there. And this little guy will be uploaded tomorrow. They do, Jamie. They have a bunch of different sizes. So yes, you can get them in different sizes. This was one of my latest ones too. This little guy is called, or girl, is called Miss Fancy Pants or Miss Fancy Feathers. So I have a lot of ACEOs that are about to be available. They're going to be up on my EBAY site. Lisa, you can go to my TikTok page right up here, and you can click the link under my BIO. I don't have an otter, but I can try one. I will get some inspiration from some otter pics and see if I can do that. Yay! Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Yes. If you guys will all subscribe, that would be so helpful. Yes, I need to do a mouse and I need to do an otter. I'm going to write those down right now so I don't forget that you guys are wanting to do a mouse and an otter. Mouse, otter. Okay, I will get those on my list of things that you guys want to do. All right, any other questions over anything that we did tonight or used tonight? Oh, a hedgehog. I don't know about a hedgehog. Those are scary to me, but I'll put it on my list. Hedgehog. All right, so you guys, I want to say thank you to anybody. Thank you, Unhinged and Feral. I appreciate that. If you guys, and what I do is I usually will upload my art. Like tonight, I'll upload this and I'll upload yesterday's, and I'll go, okay, this is my style. And I'll put in, can you create me an inspiration picture to paint of a otter in my style? And then it'll give me my style, and it'll give me some kind of like an inspiration pic to use. So I'm not copying someone else's art, which is nice. But obviously, a lot of people use ChatGPT, so that means that there's probably going to be some similar images out there. But I try really hard to just use AI images as my inspiration so that I'm not stealing art from people. So, a skunk would be so cute. Yes, I'm writing that down, skunk. Yes, that would be cute. And a fox, too. I love fox. I love foxes. I'm going to put a fox down for me because I want to do a fox. Okay. Now, just so you guys know, I try these and sometimes they turn out to be crap. So I just want you guys to know that not every single image that I try is going to turn out good. Okay. Sometimes it's going to end up being a hot mess. So just know that. I have to go for an MRI because I found something. So I've got to go. All right. Love you, Stacy. I'll see you soon. We'll be praying. Okay, guys. All right. So I'm going to hop off of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. For everybody that made a purchase, thank you. I cannot tell you how thankful I am for all of you who support me for these tutorials, because this is truly currently my income, because I am not employed right now. So the fact that you guys are supporting my lives and supporting my showcase means so much to me. So I want to tell everybody who made a purchase tonight, thank you very much. I do a happy dance every time somebody purchases from my live or from my showcase. And I am happy to continue teaching you guys how to paint and do art as long as I can continue to do that, and help support my family at the same time. I'm so grateful. So thank you for everybody who purchased. Thank you for joining. Even if you didn't purchase, for commenting, for leaving gifts, sending gifts, all of those things help me. So I am so thankful for all of it. Okay. And so just know that just being here and supporting me just helps me so much. So I just want to say thank you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I will be on at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time in the morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll do another tutorial. I'll pull something off of this list and we will try something tomorrow. So I hope you guys will all join me. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Christy, thank you so much for that purchase. That is, you are going to love that paper. I promise you, you're going to be like, holy cow, this paper is amazing. I'm telling you, it's such good paper. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you, Stacy Lee. Feel better. I will be praying for you. And you guys, I will see you guys tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be doing another tutorial, so come ready to paint. And I will see you guys then, okay? Martha, see you later. You are so welcome. Rhonda, good night. Bye. See y'all.